Somebody please explain to me what this is, right? What is that? Between the fake hair and the fake eyelashes and all the glue between the eyes and her brain, right? Seriously. And believe me, it's fake. It ain't real. Do you think I would actually look at my daughter and say, this is what you need to be like when you grow up? Are you kidding me? She calls the president of the United States a piece of shit. She makes fun of the governor of her home state who's handicapped in a wheelchair and calls him Hot Wheels. She's ghetto. She's ratchet. And you think I'm going to tell my daughter you can be anything you want to be and point to that? Listen, as a man of color, straight up, right? This is a poor representation of our culture and who we are. We're not that. That is a phenomenon all by itself. I don't understand. Please explain to me what that is. Seriously.
I can't tell you what that is, but I can tell you that right there is a father saying out loud what a lot of us parents are thinking. This is not an example of what I want my kids to be. My daughter. And who can blame them? I mean, a so-called leader who mocks, a disabled governor and calls the president a piece of you-know-what, and then dresses up as keeping it real. Democrats love to preach representation matters, but this ain't representation. This is degradation. Definitely. And black voters are finally saying, not in my name. And, and just when you think it's only outsiders that's calling out, Inner Circle drops the hammer. Oh, bow. Boom. I'm going to put it up on a big screen for y'all. Yeah, it says Trump critic rep Jasmine Crockett is a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers. Aides say all diva no wow. Now you see this facade crumbling when her own staff speaks up. No-show boss from hell, laying around her apartment chasing influencer clout while the people who hired her get nothing. This is the kind of public service the Democrat machine promotes. Style over substance, optics over outcomes. And here's the kicker. They don't push it, punish it. I'm sorry. They're rewarded. That's what they'll do. As long as you're bashing and blaming Republicans, they'll look the other way. But the truth always somehow finds its way to leak out. And it's leaking from inside of our office. And this isn't just one person's bad behavior. It's about the root of the party that she represents.
The Democratic Party were the primary slave owners. They were the KKK. They were Jim Crow. Blacks vote, in essence, for the party that enslaved their ancestors. How did this happen? Lyndon B. Johnson, who was Kennedy's vice president, said, and I'm quoting, "I'll have voting Democrat for the next 200 years." And we're only 60 years in. The problem with their cities, you can hire all the police officers you want. It's a systemic problem. It's a spiritual problem. There are 75% of black babies are born out of wedlock. There are no fathers in the home. There's no discipline. You can hire all the police officers you want. It's not going to change anything. It's a systemic problem. It's a spiritual problem. The Democratic Party, they're Marxists and communists. They want to destabilize the United States of America. Go to any Democratic-run city in America, Detroit, LA, New York, Philadelphia, you will see the same thing. The same thing wherever you go in America, in a Democratic-run city. It's a systemic problem. So, more police, and the Republican Party has to unveil the schemes of the Democratic Party. The Republican Party is weak in doing that. We have to unveil the schemes of what the Democratic Party is doing. That as long as you have fatherlessness, women having children out of wedlock, this crime stuff will continue. It's not the police on the streets, it's in the homes where it starts, people. That's courage, man.
Definitely, man.
How about this? We got a conversation going. So, I will tell you, there's a root cause problem. You hit the heart of it.
Now, this is what a conversation obviously gets uncomfortable. history. I mean, the Democrat Party was the party of slavery, the party of the KKK, the party of Jim Crow, and yet they convinced generations of black Americans that switching sides would be a betrayal. Now, if they cared about fixing our communities, why are Democrat-run cities drowning in crime, drowning in poverty, and broken homes? You gotta ask yourself that. Because, the chaos is part of the plan, if you ask me. Keep people dependent, keep people voted. But once you see the game, you really you ain't gonna be able to unsee it. And that same game is being played right now. Not in speeches, but on the political chessboard, if you will.
This is why Democrats are so scared of gerrymandering. Because every blue state is already gerrymandered to the maximum possible extent. None of these states have a Republican congressperson. These states have one Republican congressperson, and these states have 2 to 5. Which means the only states that they could gerrymander more to get rid of Republicans would be California and New York. Those are their only options. Whereas Republican states are not as gerrymandered, so they have tons of options and tons of places where they could do so right now. And if every Republican state starts gerrymandering, it adds up very quickly. Like Texas and Florida alone could add 10 plus seats. But when you factor in Ohio, Indiana, Missouri, and other smaller red states, Republicans could gain over 15 seats in the House. And Donald Trump is going to pursue this strategy, which is why J.D. Vance is in Indiana right now. Because Indiana could gerrymander to gain 2 plus seats. And if you want to figure out how this is legal, follow me because I'm going to make another video about it.
And here's
this
the power
is why
play.
Democrats are so...
The power play that I want to talk about. Gerrymandering. Democrats, they act like it's a dirty word. But only when Republicans do it. Blue states already drew, their maps to wipe out GOP competition. Some states have 0 Republican seats. Now the tables are turning. And they are panicking. Not because it's unfair, but because they're losing their monopoly. And a whole lot of black voters aren't buying the scare tactics anymore. And when that grip on politics start to slip, here's how they spin it.
The only reason that they're doing this is because Texas Republicans are not playing it fair to Texans, and they're trying to rig the system ahead of the midterm elections.
I think Democrats look
President
politically
Trump said
weak.
that.
I think
Let's let Scott talk.
Reckless, and it's not going to benefit you guys next
Regarding
year.
California, Republicans get about 40% of the vote, and they have 17% of the congressional seats. So not a great example. But number two, if it's rigging the election, that's your words, in Texas, is it going to be rigging the election when all these Democrats who say they're going to gerrymander in the other state, are you also going to argue that they're rigging the election or just in Texas?
Yes,
and have the
do not
elections
agree.
been rigged in Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, New Mexico, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, and Rhode Island? Have they been rigged there as well? Because there, the proportion of Republican vote comes nowhere near what they have in Congress.
They did a normal redistricting process. If states end up going if states end up going and calling special sessions and doing all of these things to try to gain seats, I agree. I don't agree with that. Do I think they need to do it? Absolutely, because if Republicans aren't going to play fair, then Democrats aren't going to play fair, and that's the fight that we have to have right now.
But Democrats aren't playing fair in some of the states we've
All right,
listed.
we'll see what happens when every state starts redistricting every year, every 2 years, where that leaves us. It's going to be chaos going forward.
Oh, my God. Yes, it is. I mean, Scott Jennings just hit them with the truth. If gerrymander is the big R word, then in Texas, then it's also the big R word in California, Maryland, and New York, too. But Democrats won't say that. They've got one set of rules for themselves and for everybody else. And when you call them out on it, they change the subject and cry, foul. It's not governance, man. That's what I call a hustle. But y'all want to see what that hustle looks like when they get exposed? They always fall back on their same tired play.
Disenfranchising black and brown people is racist in all parts. For those of us watching this from out of state, just know, as Texas goes, the country's gonna go. Texas may be the first to be redistrict or rigged district, but your state is next. Finally, for those of you who are watching, yes, the Republicans have stacked the deck. And the passage of this map may happen. But I want all of you to know who are watching, they want you to be discouraged.
Y'all don't mind if I speed this up to y'all? Okay.
They want you to be dismayed. They want to give you a reason to stay at home on election, but don't let them do it. This is my call to arms for you. Your vote is your weapon. I repeat, your vote is your weapon. Show them how you get down. And you know how you get down. Make sure that these maps don't give them what they want. Take yourself, take your neighbor, take your friend, take your parents, take their family, take them all to the voting box. Show them who we are. And let them understand that you are Texans.
Hurry up.
And Texans, we stand for something. Together, we keep the faith, we keep the fight, and together, we'll win. Disenfranchised.
Whew, thank God. And just like that, you get that predictable play. Pull a race card, right? They're disenfranchising black and brown voters. Translation. We're losing control, but here's the reality. Black voters aren't being silenced. They're speaking louder than ever, just not in the way Democrats want. When your results are, let's say, garbage, just to be nice, right? When your results are, garbage, you can't hide behind identity politics forever. It's just not going to work. That levee's going to break. People, vote with their reality, not with your hashtags. Just remember that. And when that reality finally hits them, they start talking like the end of the world is tomorrow.
I would say that this is very dangerous, that everything we're doing right now smacks of the Cold War. And what we're talking about is launching nukes at each other. And ultimately, it will be the American people who are hurt. Because if this happens at every time we change presidents, every time parties take power, this will never end. Democrats have no choice but to respond to this in the same way. If you launch missiles at us, we have to launch missiles at you, and it will never end. All it will end is our country in ruin. And what people need to do now is speak up and tell everyone to stop it. The Democratic states, the blue states have said, we would only do this if they fired first. And what everyone needs to tell their legislators, tell their leaders, is everyone needs to stop. If you believe in a country that still values hard work and fair play and following the rules, you have to stand up and speak up for it now. Not whoever wins this one time, you get to rewrite all the rules whenever you want. That's not the American way. That's not the way we should work. And if we don't fight against that now, once this happens, that's the end of our democracy. That's the end of our republic.
Oh.
Let me just follow up with one more question to you. A Republican state senator.
Gene Wu calls it Cold War politics, back and forth strikes until the country is in ruins. But let's be real. Democrats launched the first missile a long time ago, man. They've been rewriting the rules, stacking the deck, and expecting us just to take it. It says right here, most Democrat states are already extremely gerrymandered, yet Dems didn't object then. Yeah, the pushback is here. And, voters are part of the counterstrike. That's why they're scared. Not because Republicans are gaining ground, but because their most loyal base is walking away. Team Think I always tell y'all, this is never just about politics. This is today. It's more of a culture shift. When, you got these black voters snapping like that, the entire Democrat playbook falls apart. You got Jasmine Crockett, and she might think she's untouchable, but she just became the face of why people are leaving. Seriously, don't just watch. We gonna witness. It's the same thing. I tried to be all poetic and failed. Oh, man, real quick, I got to get some shout-outs, though. If you haven't already, follow me on these platforms up here, X and Rumble. Oh, man, you missing out, man. Go ahead and do so. I'm going to the community right now. Comments right now. I'm searching. X hitting apply. Shout out to, how you say that? I don't know name. Name, something like that. P6W, shout out to you, dog. Wendy Sealy, Shout out to Magic Fairy. Shout out to Sherry McAllister. Shout out to who else we got up in here? Yeah, my colleague. Oh yeah, same one. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my 4X Clubs, Phillips, Thompson, B7F, Rod Harris, 2780, April Pastorus, 5217. That's an interesting name. I appreciate y'all for making the channel what it is every single day. If you haven't already, definitely look right below this video. I do got merch available. Other than that, please, y'all, be safe. Go check on somebody today. Please go check on a friend. You could be saving their life.